Good morning. The 36th District Court in the state of Michigan is now in session with the Honorable Judge Donald Coleman presiding. While court is in session, there will be no talking, sleeping, chewing gum, or reading any material. Thank you.
Thank you. This is case number 23-152244. This is Javar Grayson versus Brian Ambrose. The matter is before the court where there is an application for entry of a default judgment. The court has set the matter on in regard to that motion. Your appearance for any attorney who's appearing on either side, your appearance in first instance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christopher Michaels, P83156, on behalf of Police Officer Brian Ambrose. And briefly, there was also the defendant's motion to dismiss in lieu of answer was filed. I don't know if today is the date and time for that as well.
I do have that matter that was filed with the court June the 30th and submitted to the court. So that is an issue that's before the court as well. All right, and do I have...
We open inside Judge Coleman's courtroom, and instantly you can feel the tension. This isn't the first time this self-proclaimed sovereign citizen has graced the Michigan courts, and once again, he's back with another delusional lawsuit. The man genuinely believes that his personal ideology somehow exempts him from traffic laws, taxes, and reality itself. Watching this unfold, you can sense that even the judge knows he's about to waste valuable court time on nonsense. The absurdity lies not only in the man's arguments, but in how confidently he delivers them. It's like watching someone fail a test they wrote themselves. Judge Coleman stays calm, poised, and professional, but the frustration is almost visible behind his polite tone. These moments show the true patience of judges dealing with people who confuse Google searches for legal education. The courtroom is calm, but the stupidity is already loud.
Let me address the issue of the application for entry of default judgment in this matter. On what basis are you saying, Mr. Grayson, that you should be entitled to entry of default judgment in this matter, sir?
Well, Your Honor, we sent documents into you stating that I'm a national, a Morris American, and this highwayman has no jurisdiction over me, and we sent that information to you, and also sent, I believe I have a court, People versus Battle as a reference in the case.
I think that you're addressing something that don't have anything to do with my question. You submitted to the court a default request. Now, on one hand, you're telling me that the court doesn't have jurisdiction. You're telling me that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, and you're not submitting to the jurisdiction of the court. Then why are you filing something in this court if you believe the court doesn't have jurisdiction?
As the judge begins the session, the sovereign citizen, Javar Grayson, appears on video call, representing himself, of course. Every time one of these Freeman on the land types introduces themselves, it's a red flag that legal logic is about to die a slow death. You can almost predict what's coming. Talk about jurisdiction, national status, and Moorish American citizenship. He proudly announces his self-made title like it's supposed to have legal meaning. But to the court, it's just meaningless noise. His entire demeanor screams arrogance masked as independence. It's always fascinating and sad how these individuals believe rejecting government authority gives them power, when in reality, it only deepens their legal problems. Grayson looks confident, but the judge looks like a man silently counting to 10.
A traffic court. That's not pertaining to you. What I decided to do was send you basically every information to communicate what I've been doing basically in 36 District Court, as well as this procedure.
I'm not a traffic court judge. I'm a civil judge. But I don't know what are you talking about?
Yes, sir. And I understand that.
All right, Mr. Michaels, address yourself, if you will, to both issues. One is the motion for entry of default, and then secondly, which I believe these issues might collide, the motion to dismiss in lieu of filing an answer, sir. Go right ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did receive a copy of the request for default this week, so I had no opportunity to respond. Obviously, the city the city law department who's representing this police officer filed its motion back in June, dismissed in lieu of an answer. So I don't believe there's any grounds whatsoever for a default judgment. The brief speaks pretty clearly on its face for why a dismissal is appropriate. There is no viable claim stated in plaintiff's original complaint, and since the defendant is was at the time and still is a police officer, he would be entitled to governmental immunity. It appears that it's some sort of dispute regarding traffic tickets or citations that were given for various matters that are currently pending in front of Judge Perkins right now. So it also appears to be some sort of collateral attack against those proceedings, which is under Michigan rules not permitted. So we would ask this court dismiss this.
When Grayson begins talking, it's clear he has no idea how courts actually work. He's referencing completely unrelated cases and ancient laws that don't apply, hoping to sound intelligent. The moment he claims the highwayman, meaning the police officer, had no jurisdiction over him, the courtroom practically sighs in unison. Sovereign citizens always pull this card, declaring that law enforcement has no authority over their travel rights. What they fail to grasp is that being in a car on public roads comes with legal responsibilities. Period. Watching this unfold feels like déjà vu. Every sovereign citizen case is a copy-paste of delusion. They always argue the same points, lose the same way, and still think they won. The judge listens patiently, but clearly knows he's dealing with another YouTube lawyer.
The defendant is in default in this matter. He's responded to the complaint. Default is when a party fails to act in the judicial proceeding, in a court proceeding, failed to act when they should have acted, and that therefore the court would be required to enter their default because of their failure. Things like failure to answer the complaint or failure to file a responsive pleading. The responsive pleading that was filed in this matter was filed in June. The case was filed, looks like June the 13th, 2023. The motion was filed June the 30th. That's certainly within the time required by law to do a responsive pleading. So I don't see any basis for default. Default is what, like if the defendant did not answer or didn't file a response, then the plaintiff could move for entry of default. I don't see a basis for entry of default in this matter. So the motion and application for entry of default is denied. There's nothing about this case that shows that the plaintiff is in default, or for that matter, that defendant is in default on anything. Neither party is in default. The case is right where it's supposed to be, and that is that there's been a complaint filed, and then there's been a responsive pleading. That responsive pleading is a motion to dismiss in lieu of filing an answer. If the plaintiff didn't file straight, if the defendant didn't file a motion, he would have had to file an answer to the complaint. So when there's a complaint, you got to answer within a certain period of time by either filing a written answer or by filing a motion. Sometimes there's a motion for a more definite statement. Sometimes there's a motion to dismiss because the complaint is deficient or it has some legal flaw involved. This motion to dismiss in lieu of answer is filed alleging and arguing that summary disposition should be granted, or that a motion that the court should dismiss the case because there's no legal grounds, factual grounds for this case to stand on. What is this case about, Mr. Grayson, sir?
It's about a traffic, I guess is some type of traffic ticket. I started off Brian Ambrosius stopping me.
Funniest part is when Grayson tries to explain why he's even in this court if he believes the court has no jurisdiction. That's the contradiction every sovereign citizen walks straight into. He literally says the court has no power over him, while asking the same court to issue a ruling in his favor. It's legal comedy gold. The judge even tries to make sense of it, but there's nothing to make sense of. It's like arguing with someone who's built their own reality out of internet conspiracies. The commentator watching this can't help but highlight how absurd it is to reject jurisdiction and still demand justice from that same system. It's hypocrisy in motion, wrapped in arrogance and sprinkled with ignorance. Judge Coleman deserves an award for not bursting out laughing.
What are you that you are saying and what is pertaining to? We are still ready to proceed with the case.
What exactly is your cause of action? Because I don't think that you stated a cause of action that upon which the court could move forward with the complaint.
Well, actually, in traffic court 936 district, there's action being taken against me as we speak. This is a current case, and 36 district court has no jurisdiction over me. That's why I decided to bring it into civil court common law. And this is a 6-month case that's still going on. So,
all right, Mr. Michael, you get the last word on your motion.
Right, yes, very briefly, there was nothing filed by plaintiff. It does sound like he's disputing his traffic tickets in this court, which is a collateral attack, which the Michigan court rules and do not allow. So I think that's the best ground to dismiss this case, and we would ask this court.
I object, Your Honor.
Defense attorney steps in, calm and professional, explaining that the officer being sued has governmental immunity, something sovereign citizens always fail to understand. You can hear the difference between real legal reasoning and pseudo-law babble instantly. The lawyer lays it out clearly. The case has no grounds, no legal foundation, and no merit whatsoever. Grayson is simply mad about being stopped for breaking traffic laws, so he's trying to use fake common law as revenge. It's a textbook frivolous case. The defense attorney doesn't even sound angry, just slightly amused that he has to waste time explaining basic law. Meanwhile, Grayson probably thinks he's making history as a freedom fighter when he's really just making a fool of himself on record.
All right, that you failed to state of action upon which the court could grant relief. This case and the complaint in this matter be dismissed. It's dismissed without prejudice, meaning that if you could formulate a cause of action that is recognized in the Michigan law, then you can bring the matter. If you can formulate case law or some type of law that supports your cause of action. It sounds like part of what is being said here is that as a sovereign person, you have the right to travel and et cetera, et cetera. And there is some basis for the same, but yet there is law that allows for law enforcement to stop individuals that are traveling upon the roadways. And so if that is what the cause of action is that they don't have the right to stop me, there is nothing in Michigan law that recognizes that. If, on the other hand, you find some basis to establish that the stop was in the form of some illegal activity, harassment, some advance against your person that is not permitted under law, or done under color of law, but not permitted under the Constitution, then you certainly have the right to bring an action here or in circuit court or in federal court. This case does not have any grounding to it. For that reason, the complaint is dismissed.
Coleman then patiently walks through the logic of default judgment and the rules for dismissal, breaking it down as if explaining to a first-year student. He explains what default means, that one side didn't respond, and shows that the officer did respond properly and on time. Grayson's entire argument falls apart in seconds. It's incredible how these sovereign citizens claim to know the law, yet can't grasp the simplest legal procedures. The judge maintains composure, but his tone clearly shifts toward mild irritation. He knows this man didn't do his homework, yet wants to sound like a constitutional scholar. This moment perfectly captures how real law exposes the fragile fantasy world these self-proclaimed nationals live in.